it was obviously God's perfect timing, because the season that I was in when John met with me was, I was coming to the end of my rope, 35 years old, 3 kids, married, deep into a career, trying to find my way. And really it was the result of decades of kind of an internal decision that I made to live life on my own terms. I was a deeply unhappy person, not just unhappy, but my decisions and actions had led me and my family to a pretty dark place. Church was my world. It was my life. My dad was a senior pastor. It was, Sunday school answers. I was inundated. So going into radical mentoring, it's just like, spiritually, I'm a dead man, right? Like my inside does not match my outside. I'm trying to keep it all together, and I'm just empty. I think the most impactful experience for me in the group was engaging with our stories, expressing vulnerability and sharing vulnerability with one another. Genuinely changed my life. Experiencing the disconnect between here's like this version of myself, the idealized version of myself, like who I have convinced myself that I am, versus like the truth of like being known, like who I really am. When you bridge that gap, it feels like it feels like death. Like walking through that, like breaking this down and like experiencing like the reality and the honesty of like who you truly are. It was the first time in my life that I had experienced what it feels like of being fully known and fully loved. It truly changed my life. It was an actual encounter with the risen Christ. It was an actual encounter and an experiential knowledge of God's love poured out to me through these men that had offered up their time and their lives, just opened up. We grew up trying to get into fly fishing, like Metro Atlanta. So you just go to the Chattahoochee and you're fishing under, 285 amidst the sewage and tires and trash, and you're like fishing, fly fishing. This is sweet. And it's like God picks you up and like takes you out to Montana, and it's just like it's objectively better. It's just like that was my experience. It's just like there's just so much more. The life that I've been living, there's just so much more. God has so much more for each of us, and so it's changed everything. In my marriage, it's Kate's now telling me there's things that we can talk about that beforehand we couldn't. There's things that we can work through that we were not able to. I will always be thankful for what radical mentoring means to me, my wife, my family. It was the catalyst that God touched my heart. God woke me up through this ministry. I will always be thankful.